In the murky world of motorcycle gangs, few names inspire as much fear and fascination as Dayne Brajkovich. Once a formidable figure in the notorious Hells Angels, his reputation was built on violence, intimidation, and controversy. But what happens when the tables turn, when the hunter becomes the hunted? How did Dayne Brajkovich go from being a feared Hells Angel to the target of a violent attack? Who was behind the assault, and what events led to the confrontation that nearly cost him his life? Join us as we uncover the shocking story of Dayne Brajkovich's most dangerous encounter and the decisive action taken by Western Australia police. The incident. In December 2023, chaos erupted at a Ministry of Sound concert in Perth, Australia. Dayne Brajkovich, once the Hells Angels' feared sergeant-at-arms, found himself on the receiving end of violence. The attack unfolded around 9:50 p.m. as crowds were leaving Kings Park and Botanic Gardens. Witnesses saw a violent clash break out, placing Brajkovich at the center of a scene that quickly spiraled out of control. But to understand how he ended up there, we must first revisit the turbulent life of Dayne Brajkovich, a man whose story reads like a crime thriller. A life marked in ink and violence. Known across Australia as the country's most tattooed biker, Brajkovich's body is a canvas that tells the story of his loyalties, passions, and outlaw identity. His tattoos made him a public symbol during Western Australia's crackdown on bikie culture, with authorities citing him directly in debates over laws banning club insignia in public. Before his rise in the biker world, he was a boxer, best remembered for his second-round knockout of fighter Nick Cara. But his life quickly darkened. Drug charges in 2009 led to a 2-year prison sentence for selling ecstasy behind bars. Even after being shot and carrying a bullet in his leg, Brajkovich never cooperated with police, reinforcing his reputation as a man of silence. Over the years, his violence repeatedly drew attention. In 2020, CCTV captured him pummeling Rebels gang boss Nick Martin in public, just weeks before Martin was gunned down in a separate attack. The following year, Jason Kemp, a former friend and Rebels member, opened fire on Brajkovich's car, spraying it with 6 bullets while his wife and stepdaughter were inside. Brajkovich also challenged the government directly. In 2022, he won a legal battle against Western Australia's anti-insignia laws. That same year, however, he was expelled from the Hells Angels after a violent internal clash with senior members. His name surfaced again in 2023 when the Perth Mint faced scrutiny after allowing him to purchase $27,000 worth of gold with a debit card, prompting tighter financial controls. Later, he drew headlines for attempting to sell Hells Angels memorabilia online, another move that violated the gang's code. The stabbing attack. In December 2023, Brajkovich's violent past caught up with him once again. Outside the Perth concert, he was ambushed in a brutal stabbing that left him with a deep neck wound. Witnesses described him staggering in shock, clutching his throat as blood poured from the laceration. Police, paramedics, and gang crime detectives flooded the scene. A helicopter circled above as security forces secured Kings Park. Witnesses recalled seeing at least 6 men involved in the fight. Bystanders rushed to help the wounded biker before emergency responders arrived. Brajkovich, 44, was rushed to Royal Perth Hospital for life-saving surgery. His survival marked yet another dramatic chapter in a life defined by violence, survival, and the constant shadow of revenge. During the struggle, Dayne Brajkovich suffered a finger injury while trying to defend himself. His wife, Jacinta Hill, witnessed the shocking attack unfold. Witnesses later confirmed that his throat was not only stabbed but slit from behind, adding a disturbing dimension to the already brutal assault. At a press conference, Detective Senior Sergeant Anthony Thompson of the Gang Crime Squad described the incident as a likely targeted attack, possibly motivated by retaliation. He confirmed that individuals linked to the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club and a former member were involved. Thompson emphasized that such violent acts would not be tolerated and warned outlaw motorcycle gangs that police would take decisive legal action to protect the public. Still, many questions remain. Why was Brajkovich targeted so viciously? Was the attack the result of internal conflict within the Hells Angels, as detectives suggest? What impact will this have on Brajkovich's reputation and his standing within the criminal underworld? And what measures will authorities introduce to ensure public safety at large events like concerts? The attack highlighted both the dangers of outlaw motorcycle life and the vulnerability of even the most feared figures. For some, Brajkovich's ordeal humanized him, sparking debate over justice, revenge, and the endless cycle of violence in the biker world. Police appealed for public assistance, asking anyone with photos, videos, or information about the attackers to come forward. Witnesses reported seeing a group of 6 men fleeing the scene on motorcycles, leaving chaos and fear behind in Kings Park. Authorities confirmed that a quick-thinking doctor at the scene may have prevented the attack from becoming fatal. While they did not confirm whether it was an attempted murder, they stated the weapon was small and sharp. The following day, photographs showed Brajkovich leaving the hospital with his wife, heavily bandaged but recovering. When questioned, he offered only a few words. "I asked for it, and I got it. That's the game." He admitted he thought the wound was more serious but declined to elaborate further. In response, Western Australian police launched immediate raids across Perth's metropolitan area. Multiple units, including the Gang Crime Squad, the Rapid Apprehension Squad, the Drug and Firearms Squad, the Regional Operations Group, and the Tactical Response Group, took part. Their searches led to the seizure of 3 motorcycles and the arrest of 5 suspects. One man was charged with drug and firearm offenses after police raided a house in the suburbs on December 9th. At 5:20 p.m., officers arrested a 46-year-old man linked to the Hells Angels. Inside, they discovered a loaded gun hidden in a couch, ammunition, and a stash of cocaine, methamphetamine, steroids, and prescription drugs. The suspects have since appeared in court to face serious charges. The attack on Dane Brajkovich serves as a stark reminder of the violent and unpredictable nature of outlaw motorcycle gangs, where loyalty is paramount, betrayal is punished, and survival often depends on who strikes first. With arrests made and weapons seized, authorities have signaled their determination to dismantle these networks and prevent further violence from spilling into the community.